And now we move on to Optimus Prime, who we're starting in vehicle mode with, just to be different from Ultra Magnus. First size comparison. There you go. They're roughly almost the same length. Magnus is a bit longer. While we're at it, let's get a fair share of Optimus comparisons. Armada. Animated. G1. Studio Series. I'm not buying that knockoff. Skybite. Black Convoy, aka Scourge. One of the funniest things I think of the R.I.D cartoon is they create Scourge, and when he's scanned, they go, he looks exactly like Optimus. How do these look exactly the same other than they're both a truck? Are Transformers really that racist? No. X-Brawn. Prowl. Sideburn. And Sideburn. No, Sideburn. You do not do that. I thought Richard Hammond was driving him for a second. Nope, there with the other one. But let's take a look at this very nice fire truck. Ignore the elephant in the room. I like it. It's different to any other Optimus, but still retains the spirit of Optimus, being a bright red truck. Just this time, instead of taking cargo from one place to another, he's taking people to a fire and potentially putting out that fire. So he's got 6 wheels that roll very nicely. And he's got C001 on there for Convoy or Commander, and he's number 1. And it's got some kind of typical fire truck features. I should have grabbed G1 Inferno. That's a better comparison. But this guy actually gets to do stuff. Like, he has a little seat right here for Cerebro. A little pack-in Titan Master. He's as good as any Titan Master. He's got a little Fort Max head on him. I don't have Fort Max, and I should probably show him on a regular Titan Master. We'll get to that. On the other side, he's got whatever that's supposed to be. But let's talk about this big gray thing, because it goes all the way around on that loud ratchet. That ratchet is so powerful it can actually knock Cerebro out of his little chair. And that's not enough, because it's got non-firing missile launchers. 4 of them, but with actually removable warheads. There's no springs or push fire or anything They're just there for show. They're quite tight. Oh, this one's not as tight. They look like they're blast effect compatible. And then you've got the tip, which has two ball jointed, I imagine, places for hoses to spray water out of. And a very nice metallic silver paint job. And even then, that's not all, because this, just like those nights for that special someone, it extends. Because the other thing you need a fire truck for is to reach somewhere very high. And yeah, that'll do it. And these parts do that for some reason. What? And let's continue to not talk about the elephant in the room and transform this guy. So you're going to want to separate him right here, which is a bit trickier to do because he's tabbed in multiple places. You want to untab that there, and also do it on the other side. And let's remove that. We're going to want to deal with this section, but since we're here, we're going to remove these pieces and remove these from the other side, because that's going to come into play shortly. And put this part off to the side. And that's transformed the cab. I forgot to mention, he's got Cybertron written on him as a tattoo in English and one of Japan's many languages. But let's remove this little additional wheel, which is a gun. And start by folding these panels and lowering this bit to it's right there. The same thing on the other side. Fold out, rotate that down. You're gonna untab the seats from there, and we're gonna bring this down, and we come to the biggest point of contention on this figure. This joint right here. So inside the chest are like teeth surrounding a big block of gray plastic. And some copies, quite a few, have had a major case of breakage, because the piece of gray plastic will hit the teeth as it slides and has a tendency to break them and then the torso. So I have done the fix. I have opened him up and filed those down. I actually bought this just for that reason. And put them back together, and now it slides down with very little resistance. The best thing you can do if you get this figure is get to this stage and try and push him down. If you feel any resistance, open him up. Don't push him down. Don't do that, but open him up. It's actually a lot easier than I expected. There are tutorial videos that this is not one of them, but do that. Open him up, file down what you need to, and then close him back up. And if it slides down, there can be a little resistance, but as long as he slides down properly, he should not break. Now we move on. Open his chest, slide down these arm panels until they lock, rotate them and slide them back up so you have free access to the wrist. Do the same thing on the other side. Down, back up. The wrist was not. There we go. And now we will slide down the chest. We will show the dramatic head reveal at the end, but take these panels and hinge them like that and there. Do the same thing on there and there, and then we're going to split the legs, rotate only below the knee. So this panel is moving forward. Rotate on the other side. Come to the back. Fold the foot down. Fold the heel spur out. Close that back up. Do the same thing on the other side. And now you have most of him done. Now we're going to come to the backpack. Open it up. Flip out the head. Slide the neck forward. Close the backpack. And there you have an R.I.D. Optimus Prime. And I honestly think he turned out better than Magnus. Proportion-wise, he looks, while a bit chunky, he looks more of a traditional robot shape with, massive shins. That's Transformers standard. I like this slight variant Optimus Prime. The window chest, while being a fake, is farther out than I would expect. It creates a broader chest, which looks cool. I like the head with the continuation of the gold eyes. And his helmet is slightly more curved than what you expect, and the ears move uniformly and are a nice thing to make this Optimus stand out. Another thing that makes him stand out, no matrix. No matrix compartment. We'll circle around to that. I like the look of him. He's got a tiny backpack. That's nothing. You can fold. If you extend him back out, it can do, I don't know what this does, but probably that might be for combined mode. I'm not one of the combined modes. Let's talk articulation. Head is on a ball joint. Full rotation. A little bit of up and down. The neck can slide. All good. Shoulders can go out here and out there. Being ratcheted. Very nice. Go forwards. Go all the way around. You do have an elbow joint with a swivel right above it. That is a bicep joint. That. You do get a wrist swivel and not even opening hands. That is the only drawback, I think, to the articulation of this guy is his hands, really. But that's only in this mode. You also, due to that transformation, get an ab crunch. That won't break. I've been playing with this guy for a few days after the fix because I was a bit hesitant to fix him. I was a bit nervous. But no breaking, no cracking, and his ab joint works perfectly fine. So do these massive hips. Are you ready for this? Oh, that's the knee joint. Oh, yeah. I have also heard horror stories about the thighs breaking. Like if there's any resistance in the thighs to the ratcheting, that they have a chance to break. And God, this thing has more problems than I do. It takes a bit of pressure to get the hip going, but once it does, it feels perfectly fine so far. The ab crunch. Right. Outward. We can do it. Beautiful spread! Very nice. You do get a thigh swivel here and a knee swivel below, which was the transformation joint, which leads us into that powerful knee, which is not quite 90 degrees, but it's close enough, especially with proportions like this. And you get a ball jointed ankle, which affords you a lot of range. Both rotation, forwards and backwards, bit of side to side. So yeah, I generally believe Optimus is the better standalone action figure. At least the robot mode. This robot mode wants me to play with it, if that makes any sense. Like Ultra Magnus, it didn't feel like he wants to be played with. But Optimus Prime, after that fix, it just makes me want to play with him. So for accessories, he has this kind of pathetic gun, which he can put in his hand and has a wheel on it for some reason. Which fine, I guess. However, we have more stuff to do. If you stand, sir, you will not. Oh, I knocked off the little bunny ears. We have multiple combined modes. So the first one is not that. We're going to take these sections, split them apart, fold the foot down, and I believe that's it. You're going to plug it into his shoulder like that. That is in the instructions as a mode. I'm sure he used it probably for like one attack in the show. Really? It feels like a thing you break out once. Because that's basically it. Just massive rocket pods on his shoulders. Oh, and he had the gun. So, let's completely forget about that. And also on the subject of things that are forgettable, the rest of his truck bits have a battle station mode. Come on. There we go. So we're going to reattach the ladder. Plug it in. Make sure it's locked in place. Fold this bit out. And then we're going to come to these bits and fold them out. They are going to end up attaching to these, and I've forgotten how. Turns out that's actually how the shoulder pads are supposed to go. I had them on upside down. So take this piece, and it's going to look like that. And it's going to plug in to right here. Like that. Take the other one. Make sure it's like this. And plug it into this other shoulder pad. So now you have two pieces that look like this. And these plug in to this. Like right here. Right here. And that's it. That is your battle station mode. Oh, apparently you're also supposed to flip these panels up for some reason. Whatever. I'm never going to use this mode again. So we're going to do some robot mode size comparison, and then we're going to get into the actually good combining. Here's G1, Armada, quite a big jump, Animated, Skybite, Evil Truckman, Scourge, X-Brawn, Prowl, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, Sideburn, and also Sideburn. So, to combine all of this with all of this, we're going to need to remove the gun, slide the arm panels down, fold away the head and the little antenna, and we're going to fold the heel spurs up. That's all you have to do for that. And for this, we're going to separate it into its complete components. That's an oxymoron, but I don't care. So this, fold that out, rotate. That's going to go all the way to the back. And this is going to look like this. And yes, I was ignoring the fact that there's a robot face there the whole time. These panels are just going to come apart. Come to these. Fold out the gray sections that are now feet. Fold that to the side. And bring that part out and fold in the wheels. Do the same thing on the other side. And there you go. So, on Optimus, we're going to start with the hands. So, is it this side? I want to say it's this side. Yep. So, these are going to peg in here, and they're going to enclasp the forearm like that, and rotate the hand, close it up so it kind of tries to be a normal fist. Doesn't really matter which side, like the shoulder pad, but I like to do it like that, and it's going to close there, just so the Autobot symbol is facing that way. If there is a correct side, I don't care. Do the same thing on the other arm. Enclose. There you go. Rotate the guns down if you want. Come to the shoulder pad. Now we got our arms done. Going to bring in these bits. And you'll know which side goes which depending on the ankle tilt. But they are going to rock themselves into the foot, and there's a port right there that they're going to peg into. There we go. Peg in. There you have one massive boot. The same thing with the other side. It can be a bit tricky with not much room to maneuver. Oh, come on, you tricky bugger. Oh, his foot is also going to probably peg onto that peg right there. I imagine. There's a screw hole in the bottom of his foot that looks about that size. Come on. There we go. And for the coup de grace, this panel is going to tab into the holes in the middle of his chest, like that, and it's going to tab into the collarbone and the backpack, like that, and make sure these panels are down completely. And there you have Optimus Prime Super Mode. And now the bigger proportions make sense. It was like designed for this super mode. Now this wasn't the first Optimus Prime to have a super mode. I'm going to give that to Jinrai of Super God Master Force, because he became like God Jinrai, which was in the West as Power Master Optimus Prime. This was the first one on TV over here. Like, we didn't get Master Force, Victory, or Headmaster. We got R.I.D. So this was the first time I experienced an Optimus with the super mode. Also, these bits are separate in the package. And you plug them on. Because he doesn't look right without his super ear guns. And goddamn, he looks good in this mode. He doesn't lose articulation. Maybe he just kind of, well, even if you want, you can still go that far, but you can go all the way out with the arm. And he actually does gain a little bit of articulation. He gains a knuckle joint and a wrist hinge along with the usual swivel, and a thumb joint. So that's how you do a super mode. You actually add articulation. Instead of a ball joint, he's got an ankle pivot and a toe bend. But that's only slightly less range than a ball joint and ankle. You could still use the waist joint if you get the massive groin skirt out of the way. You can still technically use the waist joint and the ab crunch. So yep, perfect, 10 out of 10, no notes. You do have one tiny feature that's an opening spark crystal, I want to say, that you're supposed to remove and put on the base form of Optimus. It's quite hard to get out of there, actually. I believe Magnus had the same one. There you go. You can get a closer look at it. Doesn't taste like Jell-O. And the new head is on a ball joint. and a hinge. And the neck is, the base of the neck is also on a panel that can go up a bit. So yeah, I think this is a better mode than the base mode. Well, either whatever you consider the base mode. I guess it's time for one final size comparison with my only other super mode, Optimus Prime. Here he is with Armada. They're almost the same height, pretty much. And I guess I'm recording this on Father's Day, so I'd probably say something. Fuck him. But okay, this guy did way better. You can actually remove this if you don't want to use the massive crane arm as a weapon. And I mean, why wouldn't you? You can still have it extendor. Good old extendor penosaur. But you can also just take it off. And just leave that by his neck. Mind you, he doesn't really have a weapon because he can't hold this gun. You're supposed to plug it onto the backpack. And that's fine. I'm guessing as the super mode, he really doesn't need a weapon. His fingers have holes. I guess he could fire lasers from his fingers. But when you're just this awesome, I don't think you need a weapon. I think the enemies just run and hide out of your sheer awesomeness. These gray bits, they rotate for some reason. I don't know. But that is everything for Optimus Prime Fire Convoy on his own. He is spitting hot fire. And now we have the full combination to look forward to next time. If you want to see that, come back in however long it takes me to do that video. Also, go watch the Ultra Magnus video if you haven't yet. Go watch. Go. This guy is really good. Mind you, he has two modes I don't really care about. They're kind of negligent. They're just there. The shoulder armor and the base mode. But those don't even bring it down. He also has these guns that are on a hinge. So he can shoot you with those. He can hit you with his massive rail. This thing. What more could you want? Really? What more could you want? I can't think of anything else. So, until the next video, keep it weird. Bye-bye. I am Optimus Prime.